Hello, breakup Brad here, and today's video is going to be for anyone who feels like their ex can't make up their mind. Maybe you're getting the hot and cold treatment from your ex, where 1 minute they seem to want you back and the next minute they ignore you. Or maybe it's even less subtle than that, and they flat out told you that they're not sure whether breaking up was the right decision, but they're also not willing to get back together either. Whatever it is, if your ex seems to be flip-flopping all over the place, giving you mixed signals and unwilling to commit to the breakup or to getting back together, this video is for you. Now, if this is your first time on my channel, I am Brad Browning, and I've been YouTube's leading breakup coach since 2012. Through my videos here and through my best-selling X Factor program, I've helped hundreds of thousands of people get their ex back or get over their breakup. So if you want my personal help with your situation, you can visit breakupbrad.com/coaching to sign up and work with me one-on-one starting today. Now, that's the self-promotion out of the way. Let's talk about why your ex is undecided about the breakup, what it means, and what you should do about it in order to win them back. All right, I want to start with a simple reality check. Now, in situations where your ex can't seem to make up their mind about the breakup, it's almost always the truth. They're not normally giving you the mixed messages or the flip-flop treatment because they've got some underlying motive or they're trying to hide the truth to avoid hurting you. Most of the time, not always, but in the vast majority of situations, they genuinely don't know what they want. They're not faking it. They're legitimately unable to decide or commit to a decision one way or another. Now, if you want a second chance with this ex, and I assume that is probably the case for most of you watching, well, this is actually great news. It means they're not fully committed to the breakup yet. It means that they're still trying to weigh the pros and cons, get a taste of what life is like without you around, or maybe even, just enjoy some time and space to think. Whatever the reasons, you can be optimistic about your odds of getting them back if they're not willing to commit to a permanent breakup. Now, if you haven't already, go to breakupbrad.com/quiz after this video is over and go ahead and take my free 5-minute quiz to get a better idea of your current chances and what you need to do next to maximize those odds. Like I said, you're probably in a pretty good situation right now if your ex is giving you mixed signals and can't make up their mind, but taking the quiz is still a good idea. So head over to breakupbrad.com/quiz after the video if you haven't already taken it. Before we move on and talk about how you can make your ex decide to take you back, let me briefly explain why your ex might be unable to make up their mind and commit to either breaking up or to getting back together. Firstly, your ex is almost certainly scared. They're terrified, in fact, of facing the reality of life without you by their side. They became accustomed to your relationship. They enjoyed the security and the companionship and the intimacy that came with that long-term relationship. And they know that breaking up and losing all those things is going to be very painful. And it's no secret, that breakups are usually gut-wrenching for both people involved, and your ex knows that. And even though they likely won't admit it, a lot of their indecision right now is probably driven by a fear of the breakup heartache. But not only are they afraid of the heartache and the pain that follows a breakup, they're also afraid of losing you. They're afraid that if they commit to breaking up, if they tell you outright in no uncertain terms that it's over for good, then you'll move on and they'll lose you for good. And you won't be around as, their plan B backup option anymore. And that's maybe even more frightening than the post-breakup emotions. And that's why they're keeping you around, stringing you along, and telling you that they don't know what they want. They're basically holding on to you as a backup option, ensuring that they don't lose you for good before they're ready to commit to a permanent breakup. Now, in some cases, your ex might even be stringing you along like this while they look for someone new, someone they hope that's going to be, even more compatible with them. Now, sometimes they'll do this because there were real, legitimate problems plaguing your relationship that they feel, may not be an issue in future relationships with somebody new. But sometimes it's also more of a result of, false assumptions and the glorified Hollywood, perfect soulmate fantasy. They might dream of having the kind of relationship that they've seen in movies where couples never fight and fall madly in love, overnight. Obviously, we all know this isn't the way things work in real life. No relationship is perfect, and no one finds their soulmate and lives happily ever after without, any bumps along the way. But a lot of people do fall victim to the grass is greener syndrome, and they want to try and find greener pastures and chase that fantasy, no matter how healthy and loving that your relationship actually was. Whatever the case was for your ex, whatever subconscious justifications they've got spinning around in their head that are making them string you along and avoid committing to a breakup or to getting back together, it's likely based on genuine indecision on their part, and it's also likely driven by an underlying fear of losing you. And this leads us to the next question, which is, so like we already talked about, your ex fears losing you. They fear that by telling you in no uncertain terms that this breakup is real and permanent, that they'll no longer be able to change their mind if things don't work out. This is a great thing for your chances of getting them back. And really, you need to magnify that fear in the back of your ex's mind and make sure they understand, what they're losing if they don't soon decide to commit to taking you back. Remember, this is what they fear, and this is usually at the root of their indecisiveness. So the more they feel that fear, that potential loss, knowing you'll no longer be around as their backup plan, the more urgency you create to the situation, and the more, they're going to be tempted to ask you to take them back. So how do you actually ensure that your ex feels this kind of urgency and this sense of loss to the point where it makes them decide to finally, commit to getting back together? Well, the simplest way is to just employ a period of no contact and stop letting them have it both ways. So don't be there for them anymore. Don't let them adjust to life after the breakup slowly. Go cold turkey on them and make them feel the full repercussions of breaking up and all the heartache that's going to come from you suddenly disappearing. Now I realize, this might sound cold and devious, but I honestly, personally don't think it's unfair to your ex at all. They're stringing you along in a way, trying to have their cake and eat it too, and you're really just simply standing up for your own right to move on and find somebody who's actually willing to commit to a relationship instead of, leaving you hanging around as a backup plan. So even if your ex really has zero desire to hurt you and their indecision about breaking up is completely subconscious, they're still asking you for time apart by breaking up, despite not fully committing to that decision long term. So in my opinion, you shouldn't feel guilty at all about going no contact on an ex who can't make up their mind or doesn't know what they want. Now, is there a possibility, a very slim possibility even, that this could end up with your ex deciding to make things permanent? Maybe you're worried, that giving them time and space during no contact will help them get over you and decide to make the breakup permanent. And that could, in some rare cases, actually be a real risk. But honestly, it's less of a risk than continuing to allow yourself to be strung along as your ex's plan B option and continuing to be clingy and needy by sticking around, hoping they'll change their mind and commit to getting you back together. So to sum it all up, if you want your ex back and they can't seem to make up their mind or decide what they really want, your best bet for making them take you back is to show them that you're not waiting around, that you're confident enough to accept breaking up and move on to somebody new, that you're a great catch, and that you're not willing to beg and plead with somebody who won't commit to being with you. So employ a period of no contact, get out there and be as busy and as social as possible. Act like you're quickly getting over your ex and you've fully accepted the breakup, even if they continue to occasionally throw you breadcrumbs that suggest that they may want you back. And if you do this correctly, and you have the commitment to fully embrace the idea of moving on and acting like you believe this breakup is permanent, then there's a very good chance your ex is going to cave to that urgency and to that fear of losing you and come crawling back, begging you for another chance. In fact, this is a key component of the psychological techniques that I share in my full tutorial video at breakupbrad.com. So for those of you watching who know that you belong with your ex and you can't stomach the idea of losing them, well, do what I just talked about in this video, but also go to breakupbrad.com and watch my free tutorial video and apply all the strategies that I share in that video as well. By doing so, you're going to be maximizing your chances and hopefully soon end up back with your ex in a new and more committed relationship. All right, I hope you guys found this video useful. Leave your questions in the comments below so I can get back to you. And don't forget to click subscribe and like as well, please. It just takes 1 second. Thanks so much for watching to the end, guys. Thanks for being awesome and all the best of luck out there. See you again soon.